seeking fame and fortune. Didn't work out for him there, but good experience for him. But he comes straight back into the side. Ben Thaler is the referee today. Joe Cobb is the video ref for this one. And the last meeting between these two sides in Super League this season, there was 2 points in it. Catalan actually outscored Hull 5 tries to 4, but Mark Sneed had his kicking boots on that day, so we could be in for a close contest as this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup quarter-final gets underway at the KCOM Stadium. A good turnout early afternoon in Hull, and the first touch of the game for the black and whites.
Isn't that a great signing, bringing Benjamin Garcia back inside? It'll give him a lot of confidence. You look at the players that Catalan are missing: Christian Inu, Louis Anderson, Paul Lane, Olivier Elmer, Vincent DePaul, Richie Milo. Bringing someone in of that calibre will really lift the players around him.
But what about the quality in this Hull FC team? Gareth Ellis coming back in. What a season Ellis is having. Mark Minicello likewise, he's back in the Hull side today, having had a rest as Hull look to get everybody in the right frame of mind for this crucial game. A semi-final place at stake. We know that Wakefield are through, Warrington are through just by the skin of their teeth. Sneed does well to pick that ball up off his toes.
Wonderful hands from Mark Sneed. It wasn't the best pass, but he manages to keep hold of it, gets a quality kick in, and that's an outstanding chase. And they look physical today, Hull FC. They know it's going to be a bruiser, but they need to control that aspect of the game. It's okay buying an extra second or two at the play of the ball, but you can't bring the attention of the referee into play.
Well, in the other quarter-finals we've seen as well, Bill, the teams that have gone on to win it have been clinical, developed composure, they've not given away penalties when they're in good field position to defend, and you can't give the opposition those cheap meters.
Well, it was Talanoa who was guilty of doing just that. Willie Mason getting the boos. I wonder if that's anything to do with the fact that he made 6 appearances for Hull Kingston Rovers in 2011. Only 6 appearances, but he is forever tarred with that, and another penalty.
Well, they don't forget here on Hull. I don't tend to forget players that have played for either side, but Remy Castell, as he does on a regular basis, leading with that chin of his, and he attracts a bit too much attention and sustained pressure for Hull FC in terms of defence.
Back-to-back penalties, Jason Becchieri, but he runs into another tough challenge. That's very close to another penalty. What's upending Becchieri as he was trying to get to his feet. Gareth sought this discipline out. You hear Ben Thaler say already, we've only had a couple of minutes.
Nowhere to go then. They were hunting from the inside. Gareth Ellis pushing really hard. Kirk Yeaman comes in and closes that play down on Albert.
Carney, Castell, fearless competitor Remy Castell, the first French player to make the Super League Dream Team in 2012. The ball goes wide, but it goes past all the Catalan players, past Fouad Yaha, past Pat Richards, and out of play.
And Liam Watts, the number 10, makes Todd Carney throw that ball because of his pressure from the inside. He's not just watched Todd Carney get the ball and look to play the play he wants. He gets up really hard. Todd Carney can hear him coming, he can hear those big footsteps. He throws that ball straight into touch. So good defence, but they've got to make sure they sort out the discipline early on.
Wait there, please, wait there!
So Hull's head and feed at this scrum.
Okay,
3 times Challenge Cup winners. And looking for a return to Wembley, and the form they're in at the moment, they really do fancy their chances. That's going to be another penalty. That was rash from the Dragons this time.
Bill, we were talking about this before the game. It seems the Catalan Dragons, the tackle technique, once they've clamped the ball and clamped the player, another player will join and grab a leg, and sometimes that gets wrong and sometimes it ends up in a tip tackle, but it's very ugly.
So Hull have their turn in possession. Talanoa plays the ball. Here is Gareth Ellis now, seeking one of the honours that's evaded him so far in his career. That ball's been spilled. It was stolen, claim Hull. Escare doesn't hang around to debate that. Minicello is penalised. Ben Thaler really is cracking down on things, and Garcia renewing acquaintances.
Yeah, well, straight into it, isn't he, Garcia? He's got off the plane, he's got his boots, he's put them on, he's on the pitch. Straight into the middle of it. And Hull FC, well, they really do need to sort their discipline out here. Morgan Escare, as soon as he catches that ball, he looks straight up the other end of the pitch. He's going straight, direct towards the post. Kurt Yeaman loses the ball. He thinks that there's a grapple tackle from Garcia. That's how it all starts in backplay. The arms around the neck from the returning Penrith player. There's a strong carry. We've got two big sets of forwards here.
4 penalties already in the first 5 minutes of the game. Referee looking to assert his authority. Garcia, not one for dummies and sidesteps. Jason Bacchieri, I beg your pardon, it was. Here is Lucas Albert, here is Garcia. Benjamin Garcia and Kurt Yeaman wanted a bit of that tackle, I think. Very nearly lost possession. Glenn Stewart throws a long pass. Carney not afraid to try it again. Escare ducking under the first challenge. Catalan showing their intentions early on here, and they're only about 10 metres out and threatening. Bacchieri, but he bounces off the first challenge and then hurls himself towards the try line. Pelissier looks left, looks right, goes backwards to Carney. Carney, little dink over the top to to Jody Broughton, but that's good defence from Kurt Yeaman.
Well, that is great defence. Jody Broughton knew exactly where that ball was going. It was a well-weighted kick. Talanoa comes in just to close the play down along with Mark Sneed. But good build-up, and good build-up play from both of these sides.
Lively opening then to this quarter-final tie, and the crowd, and you'd have to say predominantly black and white, really getting on the back of referee Thaler.
And this is where you're seeing your players stand up, bringing the ball away from your own line. You look at trying to look for the weakness in the Hull FC set of forwards. You can't see one. They've obviously got big Frank Pritchard on the bench to come onto the pitch that'll give him a big lift.
Sneed has gone for a 40-20 kick, and it could work. Oh, just bounces back in field, and Jody Broughton waits for it to sit up for him, and then runs it back at Minicello.
But there's some thunderous challenges going in from both sides. Hull seem content to keep the ball tight, keep it relatively low risk. I think when Liam Watts ended up with the ball in his hands, he knew what was on. He got a good call from Sneed, who put a long kick in, and that's the reason they're defending at the minute.
Pat Richards there tasted cup glory in his Wigan Warriors days. Jason Bacchieri, his father Taz, just down below us, taking in a game, a rare trip to the UK for him. Carney gets a good kick away there, but Jamie Shaw had to work his way back into the side at the start of this season and has done so well.
And that was a fabulous take, that, because he's got the ball, it's going over his shoulder, but he's also got the post to deal with. So as the ball's coming down, he's looking at the post, he's looking at the crossbar. Great take from him. Look at that, the confidence just to get that ball, knowing that he's going to be under pressure.
Now then, Steve Michaels cuts back in field, takes on Casti. Crowd thinking that was a high shot on their man. Sneed puts the kick in. It's a good one. Escare though is back, and the ball sits up nicely for him. There's a lot of sand on this pitch, you have to say that. It is newly laid, and it was watered beforehand as well.
And both sets of players who come out with the mouldies, come out with the studs as well, just checking which boots they should play with. And as you can see, not many of them slipping over. So it's a good firm surface that they're playing on, even though it's not the greenest.
Catalan just inside their own half, and kicking for territory, and it's a good kick as well from Carney.
It's another early kick as well. We've seen Mark Sneed, his kicking game, his long kicking game, he's happy to kick it long and back his defence, and on that occasion Catalan doing the same, slow the pace of the game down. It's been a frenetic opening 9 minutes, and Todd Carney, you feel he has the key to unlock what's available for the Catalan Dragons in this game.
He's missed only 4 games this year, Todd Carney, after the injury nightmare he had last year in his debut season with the Dragons. He's been virtual fixture in the team.
Well, he's got good game control, hasn't he, Todd Carney? You can't get bored of doing the basics in rugby league. You've got to finish your sets off well, get to the kick, whether you want to keep it in play and come up with defensive attitude in the corner, or you just want to kick it off the pitch and make sure that you get composed.
Here comes Hull. Good run from Watts.
Outstanding run, Bill. That's fully 15 metres, that. Quick play the ball for Houghton.
And Houghton, he loves this. Pick up off that and capitalise. Lucas Albert manages to stop him. Shaw, Scott Taylor, and then Ellis. And Ellis, though, that's good defence. Mason and Glenn Stewart making the tackle on the last, and Sneed with time to put the kick in. Escaré comes for it, and that'll do him good.
And that was well taken, that talent over in his eye line. Then he rose above all the Hull FC players to pouch that ball. Some good strong carries from Hull FC when they're going into collision, looking to offload. Look at that focus, concentration, gets the ball under pressure.
Garcia and Yeoman are having a great battle in the centres. This could be a great battle as well. Oh, the bus has arrived. Julien Busquet on the field. Early on, in fact, for the Catalan Dragons. Willie Mason has already left the field. Blimey. Did somebody say something?
Yeah, with 11 minutes on, yeah. Whether there's a problem with him or whether the game's just too quick for him at present.
Again, Carney with the kick. Oh, delicate one. Oh! Almost embarrassing Talanoa.
Well, he gives up on it, doesn't he? He thinks the ball's going to go out playing, all of a sudden it bounces back into his arms.
He had it covered.
Shaw is tackled. Then Steve Michaels cross the field. Casti and Justin Horrow do the tackling on him. Minicello bounces off one, gets the pass away, but as Shaw gets the ball, he gets clobbered as well. Didn't like that. The fullback goes after Jason Bicchieri, but play continues. There's going to be some feistiness in this game. Mahefanoa takes some stopping, and Richards could be penalised there. The crowd certainly thought so. It's on the last. Comes to Sneed. Kicks cross fields. Not forward. Broughton has got it. Broughton has got that ball. Can they catch Broughton? I don't think they will. They can. They cover over well. Because just for a moment, and Jamie Shaw needed to be quick there. It's a good job. They've got one of the quickest fullbacks in the competition who managed to cover across and stop Broughton's progress.
Yeah, well, he was just sweeping at the back, Jamie Shaw, when Jody Broughton goes down that right wing. So he's well positioned, the fullback.
Here's Busquet. So about 22 metres out. That could have been try time if Shaw hadn't covered across quickly there. Broughton's one of the quickest in the business. But Catalan have turned defence into attack. Here's Pellissier, the scolding of his chairman ringing in his ears. Here's Garcia. Tackled by Yeoman. Glenn Stewart now. Stewart and Danny Houghton going head to head. Bacchieri. Busquet gets the pass away. Bacchieri again. Here is Glenn Stewart once more taking on. Kicks ahead. And Ben Garcia is there to dot the ball down. And get the first try for the Catalan Dragons. And Benjamin Garcia back in the side today after his Australian adventure. Unbelievably, the last try he scored before he went off to Australia was on this ground in the final stages of last season, and he's got the first try in this game.
Well, what a return for Benjamin Garcia. Here's the break from Jody Broughton. On a normal day you'd back Jody Broughton to finish that, but a quality involvement from Jamie Shaw. He thought he'd done enough, And at this point here, Catalan, they're trying to find players in space. Everybody's pushing up, loads of energy. And Glenn Stewart, well, what can't he do, this second rower? He plays the ball, stays alive. It's a short pass to Busquets. The ball appears to be going behind. An offload, a nice kick, and Benjamin Garcia, he gets a try on his return.
It's great play, that, isn't it? Glenn Stewart, Jerome Guisset talking to him pitchside earlier, he says that he should be the man who's leading the fray for the Man of Steel award this year. He says he's been absolutely brilliant.
Garcia marking his 50th appearance with that try, returning to Europe from Australia. There's a man who's happy to be in Europe today. Benjamin Garcia with the try on his 50th appearance. Pat Richards. In 2012 on this ground, he got 3 tries and 7 goals in a Wigan Warriors win. Can he convert that Garcia try? He's missed. The Richards radar has just got 1 or 2 glitches in it this season, but Laurent Fraser, well, he'll be happy with this.
Well, it's just the way that Catalan play. The big forwards going into contact, offloading the ball, going into the line, tipping it onto a teammate, looking to keep the ball alive, and Laurent Fraser, who's done a very good job. Lee Radford just making some notes now. We've got to make sure that we tighten up the defence in the middle, we go in, we hit, we stick, we don't let the big forwards offload that ball.
Richards missing with the goal kick. That was a difficult one from out wide, but that was the story of the last meeting between these two. 28-26 it was. Catalan scored more tries but couldn't kick their goals, and they'll be hoping that it's not the story in this afternoon's Challenge Cup quarter-final.
Cup matches come down to moments. You thought when Jody Broughton made that break and Jamie Shaw made that tackle, that was one of those moments. And the conversion miss could well be another one of those moments with Pat Richards.
Here's Glenn Stewart in the thick of it early on. Ellis and Stewart, 2 real stalwart characters on both sides of the world now.
And that's Glenn Stewart. He can do the tough stuff, he can get the ball, he can run into the hard defence, but he can also set up players, look straight into the defence as well. He's absolutely quality.
Hull fans getting frustrated by the Dragons' tactics.
Well, when you're so close to the line and you're bringing it away, you've got to make sure you get over that advantage line. You land on all fours, you get up, you play the ball, you give someone like Danny Houghton, who's in the engine room, something to play off.
That's a high shot. And they get the penalty they wanted, the Hull fans.
It was, Bill, but to be fair, Scott Taylor was all on his own. You see, Mark Sneed, he needs to show a little bit more energy there, push with and push through with Scott Taylor. And the reason we saw probably 3 or 4 minutes ago Liam Watts go through a space and through a gap, it's because he had support. He ended up, he was one-on-one with the defender, and you'd back players of that size and ability every time one-on-one.
Here is Gareth Ellis seeking the one honour he's missed in his career, really. He's lost in 2 finals, Ellis. There might not be many more chances coming his way, even for a player of his ability to bounce back. Minicello. Lock him up is the cry from the Catalan Dragons. Twimavave across the line, and then Sneed, and they keep the ball alive well, and it's back with Sneed. Bowden now on the field. Josh Bowden taking Hull closer to the line. Casti really pushing his luck there, you feel. Sneed, Ellis now, Ellis, and he and Stewart having an epic battle. That ball's come loose. Minicello's picked it up, referee brings them back from the knock-on.
Well, Gareth Ellis, probably the ball needed to go wide. Gareth Ellis goes into the tackle, tries to offload it when he knows that he's getting caught. Don't have many chances near the Catalan line. You've got to make sure you look up, you play what's in front of you. And then Mark Minicello, one of the strongest men knocking around Super League, just tries to help out his teammate. But as you can see, he offloads the ball forward, it goes into Glenn Stewart, then may go backwards, but it's the correct call from the referee.
Stewart and Ellis will have had plenty of battles in the on the other side of the world, won't they?
And they won't want to let the other one get half an inch, and Gareth Ellis and Glenn Stewart will meet a fair few times in this game.
Sika Manu has stolen that ball.
Time's off.
Now, we say all the time, this is where you want to defend. This is where you condense your big forwards. Well, no one's going to sidestep because you know your teammates next to you. Get off the line and you look to intimidate the opponents. And you can just see Sika Manu there. He goes into the tackle, and all of a sudden he gets bounced up, and then he goes back in and just has a little tug on that ball. It's a good run from Horo here.
Justin Horo back in the side, having missed the Warrington trip. Escaré, play the ball, says the referee, as Scott Taylor makes the tackle on the Catalan fullback. Here is Stewart again.
3, movement, Danny! Okay, stop. Go 3.
Pelissier.
Okay.
Lucas Albert, what a season it's turning out to be for Lucas Albert. Richie Myler, of course, injured, still working his way back to fitness, so the 17-year-old Albert gets a good run in the side. Partnering Todd Carney. Well, he'll learn plenty alongside him. Pelissier and Catalan threatening. Here is Albert, puts a little grubber kick in. That one's too strong, and Steve Michaels very coolly dealt with that.
17 years of age and playing in a quarter-final at Hull FC at 17. Then you just took the stabilisers off me bike, let alone playing on a pitch like this.
Garcia, scorer of the only try so far, making the tackle.
There must have been pretty strong stabilisers carrying your weight at 17.
There were 6 of them.
6
17 stone at 17.
3, move, Greg! Line here, boys, 3. Wait. Nope.
Danny Houghton. Sneed now. He's Gareth Ellis. But Catalan collar Ellis and stop him in his tracks.
Ready for, wait, go for.
I wonder if Pelissier's ears have stopped burning after his chairman.
Bill, I think the fact that he started in this game means that the coach accepts, because of the role he's given, which is put pressure on the kickers, he might get it wrong a little bit on the odd occasion.
The kick comes in, it's still loose, Steve Michaels! And Michaels gets the try for Hull, or does he? Referee Ben Thaler wants the opinion of the video ref on that one. How did the ball end up falling in front of Steve Michaels?
I think this is a try. The ball goes up, just checking whether he's onside, offside, whether he gets hold of the ball. I don't think there's a problem grounding the ball. Look, you can see he's onside. On the right hand side, the big high kick goes in, the pressure from Fanua. He goes up, he can challenge for this ball.
He's miles off it, he's not touched it, has he?
It comes off Morgan Escaré's chin. Michaels picks it up. There's absolutely no problem, gets rid of Yaha. There's nothing wrong with that.
What about the footwork when he catches it, Michaels? It bounces into his hands, he catches it, changes direction, springs up his right foot. Tremendous leg drive, and that's a try.
He's not the biggest, is he, Michaels, but he's committed every time he gets the ball.
Has Steve Michaels got his first try on home soil since March? He has! First in the Challenge Cup, 7th of the seasonal, 6th of the seasonal, Holder should say.
Well, Hull had far too much time to get that kick away. I was only seconds ago talking about Elwar Pelissier. He's in the vicinity. I wonder whether the legacy of that match at Warrington last weekend has prevented him from putting pressure on Carlos Turmavani. Irrespective of that, the response and reaction from the Hull FC players is first class. Probably goes against the run of play for the last 2 or 3 minutes. They look like they were just running a little bit low on energy, and that might boost them now, back to 4 points apiece.
And Sneed looking to add the extras, and Catalan's weakness at full-back exposed there. Tony Gigot suspended for this one. Okay, they've been operating Gigot in the centres because they're missing so many centres, but He needed a physical presence to deal with that as Sneed kicks the goal, and Hull go in front by 6 points to 4. Steve Michaels the try scorer.
Well, Mark Sneed's normally the man who takes control of these plays, but Tuivavi's the man who kicks it. But credit for Nua for putting pressure on Morgan Escurate, because if he doesn't put that pressure on Morgan Escurate, it's a clean catch for the Catalan fullback. But he does that and allows Steve Michaels, and I'll say he doesn't look the biggest, but he's really strong carrying that ball.
Shaw scurrying to get underneath that restart. We'll see Hull FC in action again in Super League next Thursday, 7:30 Sky Sports 1 for that. The Giants hoping to get back on the horse after their cup exit, and then Salford Red Devils against the Castleford Tigers at 7:30 on Friday on Sky Sports 1.
Well, there's just a safe and effective set of 6. Jamie Shawley told just one-up carries all round centre field, but look, straight direct play gets them over halfway.
And Saturday, Catalan Dragons against the Wigan Warriors. What a game that is going to be. What an occasion that is going to be in Perpignan. And we'll have coverage of that game as well. Oh, and Fuad Yaha's lost that ball, and Hull have been penalised.
Yeah, I think the correct decision. Fuad Yaha, he runs hard and strong, and Hull FC, in the process of trying to drive him back, end up dragging him, and the ball comes away from the chunky winger.
Line boys. Line boys. Time off.
6-4 the scoreline at the KCOM Stadium.
Back off.
Penalty allowing Catalan to just get across the halfway line. Jason Battieri ran into solid Scott Taylor defence and stopped in his tracks. Scott Taylor having a great season.
And he does big minutes as well, Scott Taylor. You see, he's got 24 minutes on the clock, doesn't look tired, still looking for work, and his work rate and work ethic is getting him just rewards.
Could Hull have the England front row?
All three of them have been absolutely brilliant this year. Led from the front.
Well, look at that. That's casual from Catalan. Busquets is left to pick it up.
Well, he's hurt as well here. Yeah. Gareth Ellis. You got Danny Houghton over the top who turns him one way. Gareth Ellis at the bottom.
I think I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago. It was in a Catalan match when you're involved in a tackle and you've got one up top, one round the bottom. They're trying to put you on your back. And it literally makes you freeze because you're worried about the contortion of your body. And Busquets, another player who's had a tremendous season, ends up in an awkward position.
Well, Gareth Ellis slides down on his legs and then say, look, watch Danny Houghton. Gareth Ellis slides down, Danny Houghton works extra hard to turn him on his back, and when he does that, you can just see that he just twists him up, puts him in an awkward position.
Julien Busquets having attention from the gentleman in the orange shirt. That's the oldest physio in Super League, Jean-Claude Pignol.
Speaks fabulous English.
Quite a character. Yeah. I'm surprised he's not at Glastonbury this weekend instead of on duty here. He's a big rock fan. 65, he's retired from his job, but he's a physio here. Catalan pick up possession. I think Busquets is fit to continue. Little kick comes through, and again it's too strong. There is Busquets. He doesn't look too fit, does he?
Well, he's trying to run through. Sometimes knocks like that you can run them off, but Gregory Muniz, he kicks the ball off the island. Not the kick that they wanted, I don't think, but Hull FC have to work hard to get up the other end of the pitch.
Hasn't he been good in the early exchanges, Gareth Ellis?
Well, what do you expect?
He just leads from the front. That just inspires the people around you. Gareth Ellis can do it. He says, look lads, I'll take you forward, you just play off the back of me.
Well, Minicello's not far behind. It's similar sort of vintage, Mark Minicello, and similarly committed as well. Sneed now. Bowden, lovely offload from Bowden, finds some Liam Watts. It's Chris Green, I beg your pardon. First involvement as he's come off the bench. Sneed, and Stewart's missed him. You don't often hear that said. Sneed was taken down after he put the kick in. Escray manages to make it dead, but I think there's going to be a penalty. There is.
Yeah, well, Mark Sneyd, in the danger and the threat that he possesses, when he gets the ball, drops it onto his left foot, and he's taken out by Elwar Palissier.
What a succession of offloads from Hull FC. When they show that kind of energy, when they put themselves in the frame and push through as support runners, my word, they cause some trouble and ask some questions of this Catalan defence.
Don't they know how to play in the right field position, Hull FC? There's going to be some changes for Catalan now. I think Thomas Bosk and Big Dave Taylor's going to come onto the pitch to give them a bit more go forward.
Well, all kinds of confusion there. There was 2 balls on the pitch, then there was no balls on the pitch.
There is Dave Taylor ready to get into the action, having missed last week. But from the penalty, here's Green once more. And Catalan back on their own try line. Sneyd now. It's good defence, but a good run from Fanoa. Scruffy play the ball. Green. Ellis. Stewart makes the tackle and then manages to delay it a little bit longer. Houghton. Good work from Tuimavave. Manages to get the pass away to Houghton. Houghton across the field, but Lucas Albert's got a hold of him and he's lost the ball.
Penalty. Lucas Albert's hit him, knees on the floor, tackle complete, he's hit him and knocked the ball out.
Well, they're asking questions, but this is good defence from Catalan, isn't it? Another set of 6 here, though.
They're taking the tap quickly, keeping the pressure on. Bowden plays the ball, and that ball's been lost. Tuimavave has claimed the try.
I know they don't get anything there, but I feel that the unlocking of this game is in those short passes. Not necessarily long sweeping passes trying to split defence, but short support. Ultimately they drop the ball, but they're really challenging this defence of the Catalan Dragons, and I think that's probably one of the reasons Laurent Fresinu is trying to rotate those players, big men making big efforts defensively.
And they'll change them over now after this scrum's formed. Can't make a substitution until after the scrum. So Hull have to switch on here. Big Dave Taylor's going to enter the field. Hull FC have still got to bring on Big Frank Pritchard as well.
We'll have the coal train and the tank on the field.
Well, that's a battle, isn't it?
And the bus, is the bus on at the same time?
Yeah, the wheels on the bus aren't going round and round at the moment, tell you that. Here's Fouad Yaha.
Wait here, wait! Go.
Bruising contest this.
We expected it though, didn't we? We turned up here, two of the best sides in the competition. Here he is, Dave Taylor. He'll receive special attention.
Well, it goes without saying he's a good carrier of the ball, but until the start of this game he's got 47 tackle busts. So 47 times opponents have tried to tackle him and fell off in some fashion.
The ricochet came back to Broughton. The referee said it was still on the last, and so Hull have possession.
Well, a couple of players now will be tired. Normally going up to the half-hour mark, your half-backs will take control. You'll look to target certain people who are looking to get off the pitch and have a bit of a breather. Could be some tries, some points here. Here's Big Frank Pritchard. Look at that.
There they go, the tank and the coal train. The tank tackled. Houghton picks it up. Tuimavave. But there's a gang of Catalan's defenders there to greet him.
Stand square, boys. Wait here, wait.
And that tackle would have hurt him then. Horo comes in at the back. He's still having word with him now. Tuimavave.
And another tactical kick, this time from Mark Sneyd.
Well, the back end of the set, Mark Sneyd taking control. You can see him directing his players, just having a little word in the ear. But Tuimavave fell that tackle from Horo. But under no pressure. He's the man who takes control on those final kicks.
No Leon Price for Hull FC.
Look at this run though. That's what you want from your substitute. Get hold of the ball. Just take the A1 route. Straight, direct, pick out a smaller man. Although to be fair, in Super League, the majority of men are smaller.
Everybody's smaller than him, but in terms of the Catalan Dragons, I'm looking at the sideline now, and Bousquet looks like he's getting his ankle strapped up. Still struggling a little bit with the injury he picked up a couple of minutes ago. Hopefully he can get on the pitch and keep that rotation nice and fresh players. It's a quality game. This half an hour, it's flown by. There's the attention to the ankle. Looks like an American football player.
Here is Horo now to Mavave and him. Just having a little bit of a running battle. Glenn Stewart, and Stewart losing his footing in the middle of the field there. So Carney, he puts the kick in, but Talanoa fields it. Batuli Talanoa, massive crowd favourites. He missed the game against Casper, the win last week in Super League, so Talanoa, one of the players coming back for Hull FC in this game.
Well, both teams are completing either getting through the set to 6. You look at the missed tackles for Hull FC, just five missed tackles for Hull FC in the opening 31 minutes and 15 for the Catalan Dragons.
Bosk penalised for interference on Chris Green there.
And according to our records, that's the 10th penalty. There's been relatively few mistakes in this match. It's been a high quality match, but it's those penalties, the messing about at the play of the ball, trying to slow and negate that power game that both sides probably approach this with.
Bosk and Stewart with the tackle on Liam Watts. Houghton finds Minicello with a short pass. Who's there to tackle? Glenn Stewart, that's who. Charge, and I think it's Pritchard who'll get the try. Short range, and the tank could not be stopped. And Frank Pritchard coming off the bench gets his first Challenge Cup try for Lee Radford's team. In actual fact, in his Cup debut.
Bill, that's the reason Frank Pritchard is probably left for the opening quarter to conserve the energy. There's the penalty that led to the field position. And because he enters the game when it's broken up a little bit, he's running at tired defenders. You just see in the background Glenn Stewart, who had to deal with Mincello. He can't get back into position, albeit that there's 3 players in red shirts facing Frank the Tank. It's not enough.
Got a try last week against the Castleford Tigers in a Super League win, but that in actual fact is his first try on his new home ground, and it's a try that's extended Hull FC's lead to 10 points to 4. Kick to come and a formality for Mark Sneed. You'd have thought, doesn't miss many. He's landed 80 already this season, Mark Sneed.
He's a big favourite on the terraces, Frank Pritchard, as he's walking back to position now. Virtually everybody stood up applauding the big fella, singing the favourite song.
Super Frank. Sneed's 2 more points to add to Hull's tally. 12 points to 4 they lead. Just 7 minutes left in the first half.
Well, when Frank gets the ball so close to the line, it's like, well, do your best, lads. Try and get your body in front of him. Wasn't it a brave decision as well by that man, Lee Radford, to let Frank Pritchard and Sekou Manu go and play for Samoa and Tonga in the last round when they played against Saints and beat them to qualify to play in this quarter-final.
Catalan restart. They led early on here, but oh dear me, Shaw and Houghton getting in a tangle there and just having a look at each other.
Yeah, they're both asking and saying, why didn't you call for it? Jamie Shaw as a fullback, that's his meat and drink, that's his job all day and all night, and to his surprise, like a parrot on his shoulder, Danny Houghton just chips up and tries to catch it.
Well, that just shows communication is absolutely everything, and concentration as well, so close to your line when you've scored a try.
Head and feed to the Catalan Dragons then, and an opportunity for them immediately to hit back. Garcia, scorer of their try. The Hull fans lifting their sides to a defensive effort. Here is Taylor getting the ball away to Justin Horro, and Horro reversing towards that try line. Hull regrouping, quickly up. Lucas Albert, he might only be 17, but he's a chunky little character.
He's strong, isn't he?
Thomas Bosk. Carney short ball finds Taylor clinging on and somehow getting the pass away. Bosk, it's on to Jason Bacchieri, but Minicello superbly doing enough to stop his progress. Jason Bacchieri thinking that he was impeded there. Here's Muniz now.
He's dropped that ball. Is there a tug at it? I think Ben Thaler's judged that one of the Hull FC defenders has had a tug out. If you're a Hull FC fan now, you're looking at this game thinking whenever Catalan are in this position, at this end of the pitch, and start offloading the ball as they are doing, we're in trouble.
Taylor, they're not going to let him get an arm free on that occasion. And Watts, I think it is in trouble. He's had David Taylor landing on top of him, so you're likely to be in trouble, aren't you?
Well, he went in the previous tackle. He thought that by his effort and weight, he was going to dislodge the ball, but the penalty came from it. But yeah, Liam Watts looks to pull him to ground.
I don't know whether Frank Pritchard, I don't know whether it's a bit of friendly fire as he's coming to join in. It's not that Dave Taylor's landed on top of him. You see when Frank Pritchard comes in, his knee might just catch the back, the rib.
Is it when he goes on his shoulder or neck? Well, look, when he gets in here, he drags him down. I don't think there's a problem there. Whether it's hit from Frank Pritchard's hip in the back of his head, he wasn't really expecting that. He thought he was the last man in the tackle, taking control, taking Taylor to ground.
It looks like he's okay. If Dave Taylor's landed on top of him, he's had a free chiropractor session, because I guarantee his back would have cracked like a box of fireworks.
Watts is back on his feet. He's only missed one game this year, so he's a durable front rower. Taylor will play the ball for the Catalan Dragons. Plenty of tackles in the bag for them. Last 5 minutes of the first half. They trail 12-4 here. Here's Jason Bacchieri, trying to get to his feet. Escaré, pass out wide to Richards, and Richards can't take it. Michael snaps it up, and frustration for Catalan.
Yeah, well, Pat Richards, he was trying to catch that ball, let the ball do all the hard work, skip on the offside of Fanua to create that 2-on-1. Unfortunately, the ball doesn't go to ground. Look, you see he gets it, tries to get on the outside of him, to get the 2-on-1 with Michaels, but it's good defence again, isn't it?
Good line speed. You can see from the reaction of the defenders, they love that, and the Dragons compound the issue with giving a penalty away.
Fanua plays the ball. Sneed has to do some evasive manoeuvring. Newman can't take it, and Broughton will pick it up.
We're just maybe getting a bit carried away, looking to force the pass. The mistakes are starting to creep in from both sides.
Escaré across the field. Here is Taylor now. Taylor brushes aside the first challenge.
You see the offload straight into Kurt Yeaman, looked at it inside Sneed, said, what was that?
It was a bit of a Hamish reaction, wasn't it?
Ready, let's wait.
Albert plays the ball. Bacchieri somehow manages to get the pass out of the tackle. Muniz finds Stewart, and Stewart clings on.
Offloads are really hurting Hull FC. Just a couple of minutes before half-time, I'm sure Lee Radford will say, clamp this ball up. There's a forward pass from the Catalan Dragons. Luckily, that's going to let the black and whites off the hook. Thomas Bosch, who's played at international level and club level many times as a dummy half, he gets that all wrong.
Well, you're always caught in two minds when you're dummy half. And Thomas Bosch, he's made his name as a stand-off. As his seasons have gone on, he's gone into the pack, he's played at hooker. You're always told as a forward to hit the ball on the advantage line. And sometimes if you get it wrong, a step too far, it puts doubt in that man's mind who's passing the ball. Normally, if you're a hooker with great experience that's played it over the years, you pull that ball back in and you don't throw it.
Head feeds to Hull. Coming up, couple of days of real entertainment after our live games next Thursday and Friday, June 30th, July the 1st, 10:30 Sky Sports 1. The rookie, the NRL rookie, Reality Rugby League, and that's here on Sky Sports. That follows our live games next week. Last couple of minutes of the first 40 here, real nip and tuck contest as you'd expect between these two sides from the upper echelons of the First Utility Super League. The leaders against fourth place Catalan, who are just 4 points behind them, of course. And Hull with Sneed looking for 1 point. He's wide of the target there.
There's great energy in the build-up to that play. Danny Houghton running onto an offload, wins that play, gives this space here to Mark Sneed, who drops it onto his left foot. Unfortunately pulls it left, but points are going to be very close to score from the back end of this game, so the points need to be right. And Hull FC and Mark Sneed, knowing that they've been involved in some great games that have been close, but they've got to make sure they come away with something.
It's Fuad Yaha.
To move seeker!
Lee Radford, well, his side has been in great shape. Zatieri gets the pass away.
There's a good contact, but unfortunately didn't control the ball.
And here they come now with Lucas Albert. Does well to keep on his feet until the tackle is made. Stewart now. Stewart somehow gets the pass away. Over the top, finds Broughton. Broughton comes back infield.
That's committed defence. That as soon as they were brought, look at the white shirts now. The white shirts are back defending.
4 tackles gone this set of 6.
5 away, lads! Jamie, back here with me. Jamie!
On the last now, and Bosk. Carney puts a kick in, but Shaw had that one covered.
As we're just approaching half-time, it's nip and tuck this game. Sensational contest.
Was that a shot of something? Lee Radford possibly needs it after a first half like that.
I hope not.
Well, you wouldn't blame him, because it's been a really tough toe-to-toe contest between these two sides. Some seasoned campaigners out there who know what this sort of knockout football is all about. And Hull FC, while they lead by 12 points to 4, know that they have got a battle on their hands if they are to go through to the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup. Pritchard, the other first half try scorer for Hull, both of those from close range, as was Benjamin Garcia's for the Catalan Dragons. So a tight game, and you get the impression that neither is really going to cut loose. It's going to be a grind right the way to the end, and it's a fascinating full-blooded contest. Second half underway then. The first touch in the second half for young Lucas Albert, 17 years of age, youngest Catalan player when he made his debut last July. And Catalan, will they cut loose? They can do, but at the moment they're very much involved in a real tussle with this big Hull pack.
Well, they've got to break them down in the middle. The Hull FC forwards, they've been playing really strong. Catalan going for a kick here on the third play, looking for that 40-20. Jamie Shaw in the correct place.
Jamie Shaw's had a good first half, been involved with and without the ball. Another player.
He's made a mess of that though.
Just a penalty.
Oof, that was generous interpretation from the referee.
He's got a lot of composure, Jamie Shaw, hasn't he? He varies his plays.
And he has
at the back
when he's been called upon. And I'm thinking back to the first half. Benjamin Garcia's hands are all over the ball, and when he tries to play it, he loses grip. But I'm thinking back to that occasion in the first half. He had to take the high kick, the high bomb with the posts in his eye line, and Jamie Shaw one of a number of good fullbacks looking to be involved in those international games at the end of the year. We'll just have to wait and see.
Come on, guys, come on!
Just over the halfway line then, as Sikimanu plays the ball. Steve Michaels, and Michaels, conscious of where he was on the field, manages to stay in the field of play, and then Watts going across the pitch. And Stewart. Houghton, well, that one fumbles out of his hands. Went forward, says the referee.
Well, it's one of those that he looks up, he sees Pritchard, and then he looks to give it, and then tries to pull it back, and then the ball just comes out of his hands.
Right, he's in the action of passing it. He knows and realises it's the wrong player and tries to wish it back like a magic trick.
Head and feed to the Catalan Dragons. Their former player Leon Price is down on the sidelines, waiting to talk to Angela.
Yeah, I'm in the comfy seats here with Leon, obviously former Catalan and currently a Hull player. But how's the game going for you?
It's been a game of territory so far. I think Todd Carney's been pulling the strings for Catalan and putting some really good kicks into position. First 20 minutes were really tough, but I think we found a way back into the game. So I think it's a game of territory and being dominated by the wrestle.
What's going to win it?
Probably a special player by somebody. I think if we keep on doing what we're doing, Catalans will tire. The pitch is heavy and the forwards will slope a little bit. So if we keep controlling the ball, then we could get the win.
It's going to be an entertaining second half.
Hopefully, yeah. I think Tom Carney's looking real dangerous, and now Taylor's coming on field, and they'll be tough to handle.
Thanks for your time, Leon.
No worries.
Well done, thank you.
Here's Muniz now for the Catalan Dragons, who are holding a big reunion next Saturday around their Wigan game, marking their entry into Super League 10 years ago. Albert gets the pass away, but it put Justin Horrow under pressure, and Hull will have it back, but very nearly squander that. Sneed gets the pass away, and Talanoa comes back in field and wishes he hadn't, because he runs straight into Glenn Stewart.
Glenn Stewart is all over this pitch, and again, the composure and the kicking game, the territorial game that Leon Price was talking about. I'm not sure when they get that ball they're on the right page. Mahi Fano has done some great stuff in defence. Justin Horrow, should I say, clips him right round the earlobes.
Here's Big Frank.
Well, this is where you've got to keep honest. You see Horrow that goes over the top of Houghton.
Oh, and then Watts makes a porridge of that. And Taylor goes for 1 point.
Yeah, well, the back end of the first half and the opening part of the second half, there's been mistakes. We can see the pressure again from Stewart. Leon Watts just having a little look, seeing who's in front of him. He gets off the line, good leg speed, gets into his eye line and forces that mistake.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I saw David Taylor from what looks to me like the 30-metre line, when that ball goes on the floor, attempt to drop goal. My opinion, they should go make Dave Taylor go and get that ball.
Do you think he might not be taking this fully seriously?
I'm not sure he thought he would get there.
Move, Frank! Back here, Liam, wait here. Wait,
so Catalan with the ball on the 40 metres line in their own half. Jason Battieri
to Moonseeker!
Just edges them over the halfway line.
Play on, go.
Bosk, Carney, here is Taylor once more. He's got great footwork for such a big guy.
He's quality, isn't he? Look at that.
Still going.
Former Gold Coast Titans gets to his feet. Back in field to Bosk. Nice work. Carney throws the long ball to Escaré, and Escaré skipping, but just took too long, and that's long enough for Minicello to make the tackle.
Well, they just seem to be closing most things down here. Glenn Stewart takes control on the fourth play. He's got to go high this now on the last play.
It's with Albert. He obliges. It's not a bad kick that towards Steve Michaels. The ball's bobbled backwards, and the referee will bring him back.
Yeah, he was taken out then. Steve Michaels, when he goes up for this ball, he's taken out. His 2 feet are off the floor. You can see Fuad Yaha has a little tug at him. Pat Richards as well from the inside, who's playing at centre. It's that contact that that's what he's been penalised for.
Well, the first 40 minutes, there was very few mistakes. There was plenty of penalties. There was very few mistakes. The standard and the quality was high, and the opening 5 minutes of the second half have not been.
I think that's a very good upsum of what we've had so far in the second half.
Nerves will play a part in this game. Obviously, both of the sides are at the top of Super League. Both looking to get to Old Trafford come the end of the year, but both of these sides want to get to Wembley as well.
And the chances there, place in the semi-finals on offer. Wakefield already there, Warrington already there by the skin of their teeth. Will Wigan or Castleford get through later on?
Well, Dave Taylor was nowhere near marker then. It was a quick play the ball. Danny Houghton got out, and Dave Taylor got hold of him. I think they were lucky there.
Hull rolling forward now. Tuima Vave back in field. They keep the ball alive. Sneed, Shaw, and it's knocked on. All that good work.
Well, a good hit from Morgan Escaret. Minicello, when he comes back against the grain, he's got brilliant footwork. Offloads the ball to a man in a better position. Have a little look at the hit. There's nothing wrong with this. Morgan Escaret, he just throws his body in to the tackle. He hits his opposite and forces that error.
I've often thought these two players, they're very similar in size, in stature, in threat with the ball. I think probably, all things considered, Jamie Shaw defensively has the edge over his opposite number, Morgan Escaret.
Heading Thomas! Right. Todd,
head and feed to the Catalan Dragons.
He's got to bind properly in that scrub. He's not binding properly. Todd, Thomas has got to get in. Stay in and bind in.
Ben Taylor insisting that Thomas Bosk takes part in that scrum.
But the front row didn't. Everybody has to bind in except the front row.
Sometimes I wonder why they bother.
Me too.
It's just to restart the game, isn't it?
Here's Garcia now, who got the first try of the game. The crowd trying to lift, probably not just their side, but Catalan as well, because it's not really got going in this second half yet.
It will do, it will do.
Willie Mason is back out there for another burst of activity. And Escaret puts the kick in. Shaw underneath it. Oh, he's knocked it on.
Yeah, loses the ball. Jamie Shaw.
Because you lose it backwards and therefore grounds it. There you go. Heard him say knock on in the background, the referee. Irrespective, it's a dropout anyway. Doesn't really change the outcome, which ruling it is.
Well, he thinks he's done everything, doesn't he? He catches the ball, he's looking to tap the ball on the 20, and it goes straight through his hands.
And while the ball's in flight, he's probably trying to get a gauge of where he is on the pitch. If he catches it in goal, he gets the ball back further up the pitch.
Horrow clutches that ball goalkeeper style.
One movement, Liam!
And Catalan immediately are back on the offensive, only about 20 metres out. And here is Mason.
To move Frank!
So they've taken Taylor off by the look of things. Mason, another big guy, comes out. Carney. That looked forward from Carney. But Casti took the pass. Escaret. Carney once more. Here's Lucas Albert. We've seen his footwork and pace, but he can't put that on Hull, and Watts makes a good tackle. Bosk across, bit of pace. Here's Escaret, but trying to avoid any danger of obstruction, and Hull are able to make the tackle. It's Minicello doing well, gets applause from the Hull fans. On the last, little grubber kick comes in, it's a good one, and Lucas Albert was chasing but just couldn't get there.
Well, Carney and Albert having an influence in that set of sixes. To go for a quick tap here, going across the line, looking for that fractured defensive line. He pushes up really hard there, looks to ground that ball, unfortunately it doesn't come off of him. He's been impressive for Nua. Strong in defence, strong carrying the ball forward.
Here's the kick that goes through, but I agree with you about Fanua. He looks like he's got the wrong number on his back. He's got number 2. Presumably they thought at the start of the season he would play on the wing, but he's far too big to be a winger.
A look at this from Green, and Green finds Houghton, and Houghton will get the try. Out of nothing there. And Catalan were completely undone. And Danny Houghton, on his 64th consecutive appearance, has a smile on the face of his coach. Quiet satisfaction on Lee Ransford's face, because there is a deserving case. Danny Houghton never stops working, trying, never stops playing.
Well, Bill, you said in the first half about Scott Taylor, how good he was. Good footwork, goes at the line, comes up with a big surge, and look at that, the composure. He knows he's got a fullback to beat in Morgan Escudero. As soon as he gets through the line, all of a sudden gets rid of Thomas Boss, gets rid of Remy Casti, ball in for two hands, gives the ball to Danny Houghton. That's what I like about Danny Houghton. Plays in the engine room. He's played 64 games consecutive now, and he's always up there defensively, but also offensively. He's quality. As soon as he passes the ball, he still goes up and supports his teammate. Good play.
Danny Houghton hasn't missed a game since Perpignan in June 2014. 16-4 the scoreline. No wonder Hull are jubilant. No wonder the language might have reached a level that you might not have appreciated. But there's a lot at stake for these two sides, and Hull look as though they are edging their way towards the semi-finals of this Challenge Cup with that Danny Houghton try. Converted by Sneed, the customary cry from the Hull fans of Sneed.
Well, they've enjoyed this try, and it all came from the poor last tackle option from Catalan Dragon, the poor defensive efforts, but I'm not going to take anything away from the quality of Scott Taylor, first of all with his balance and footwork, and then his execution to deliver that pass. It was dipping a little bit, but Danny Houghton gratefully received it and dabbed the ball down.
Well, now Catalan have got to maybe they've got to chance their arm. It's been a real tactical grind.
Whenever they've offloaded the ball, they've really caused some trouble, and we've watched Catalan enough times to know that if they play with that self-belief on the front foot, they can trouble anybody. The minute they start to fix things up and lose their discipline, lose their edge, that's when they hand the victory to their opposition.
Taylor plays the ball. Houghton, Sneed, Tuimavavi, and here's Danny Washbrook coming off the bench. Washbrook
tackle 5 away, Pat!
been outstanding this season in a variety of roles.
Okay.
And Sneed gets the kick away. Escudero is underneath that. And Broughton. While you think that Catalan have got the ability to cut loose, they're up against some really good Hull defence.
The defence has been absolutely brilliant for most of the year. Hull FC, the way that no one really jumps the line trying to solve problems themselves. They get numbers in, work really hard, try to turn their opponents onto the back, make it a slow play, the ball.
Here's Benjamin Garcia, first game back since his stint in the NRL. And a try under his belt already. Casti.
Fifth tackle away, Dan!
That's the fifth tackle.
Wait! Go.
20 metres out. Albert. Horo puts the kick in. And Chris Green, well, that one, he looked down and the ball was in his hands.
Well, you've got to do better at the end of your set than that. Horo just kicking the ball straight into Liam Watts' hand.
Chris Green looks on his left, he's got Jamie Shaw.
Penalty against the Catalan Dragons.
And that's all it takes, a poor read, a poor error on the last play. You give the ball to the opposition, Green gets it, and then because of that, you then give a penalty away.
And what a good penalty kick it is. Sneed has launched that one downfield, and put his side within 15 metres of the Catalan try line.
That's great distance. Every one of these players now is an attacking player for Hull FC.
Back up, Kate, go!
So Houghton taps. Pritchard
Move, Glenn! Line Morgan, come on,
makes
boys!
the first dent in the Dragons' defence. Houghton goes to the short side. Minicello! Just short, didn't get it down.
I think he's lost it. He's lost it before the line. Tries to reach over, comes up with a very good line, back against the grain. He's been doing it all right the way through this game.
He keeps those legs pumping, which means that defenders are clawing at him. He doesn't have a great grip on the ball. You see as he takes it away from his body. Morgan Escaré in attendance, he has his hand on the ball. And Mark Minicello, who has his brother in attendance, Anthony Minicello, is somewhere in the crowd watching his brother. That's no try.
Well, Mark Minicello goes to stretch out his arm, thinking that he's got hold of the ball and control of the ball, but because Morgan Escaré's clamped the ball, that's the reason why he can't get it down.
No try, knock on. Reaching out for the line. That's right.
Knock on is the ruling.
Let's have a little look. Morgan Escaré clamps hold of the ball. He knows that that's what he's got to do. And because Minicello thinks that he's got his arm free, he still thinks he's got hold of it.
Discipline, boys.
Good defence, and Lee Radford, well, team's in control there by 14 points. And it's still not a bad place to turn the ball over close to the opponent's line.
Here's Escaré now.
One move, Daddy!
Washbrook with the tackle.
Wait! Go. Sorry, Nick.
Garcia. Look at Yaha, in fact, who was upended. Mason now, and Mason, and they were there waiting for him.
You've got nowhere to go as well. Look at Hull FC when they get off the line. They're keeping themselves squared in. None of them are facing the sideline. They're hitting them, and when they're hitting them, it's the full body that's in front of their opponents.
Kick from Lucas Albert ricochets. And Hull are not going to let this one slip, you feel. It's on the last, and Bosk puts a good kick in the end.
Oh, what's he done?
Talanoa are up to there.
What's he done? I can only think he thought it was a 40-20.
It is a 40-20, I think, wasn't it?
He touches it here.
Yeah, he tries to keep it back in. Even the touch judge as well is trying to keep the ball in from his actions.
You're right, Tez. It was from the 40.
Yeah, goes over the 20, so he has got to try and keep the ball in.
I'll give you that one.
So what a great response that is from Bosk. Now then, can Catalan capitalise on his kick? This time the scrum packs Busquet. Porro it is, I beg your pardon, there's no sign of Busquet. Casti working overtime. Bosk. Carney. Lucas Albert shows it, and then again the great defence from Hull as Benjamin Garcia trying to find a way through. Broughton, here is Glenn Stewart. Stewart onto Bosk. Bosk to Carney. Carney finds Richards. Richards to the other wing, and they are in, and Fouad Yaha with the try for the Catalan Dragons, and they aren't going to go away that quickly. Second try in the Challenge Cup, fifth try of the season all told for this 19-year-old winger.
All the field position comes around from Thomas Bosk. Look, he knows where the 40 is. He gets out from dummy half, he steps back, puts a tremendous kick in. It's brilliant. I think speaking of the Catalan players and the brilliance of the players, have a little look at this ball from Todd Carney. Under pressure to Pat Richards, who creates the space on the outside for Fouad Yaha. But everything's at the line, holding up those Hull FC defenders. They can't shoot out, they can't number up. All their eyes are in. A couple of the players biting, but Todd Carney squares up those defensive players, keeps them honest, and then delivers a brilliant ball.
As you can see, he's on a great scoring run. 4 consecutive games now he's scored tries. He's a cup winner already this season, Fouad Yaha, because he was in the Sant Esteve Tresa Catalan side that beat Limoux in the French Cup final earlier in the year. the French side's reserve team. And they're still in the hunt in this Challenge Cup semi-final, quarter-final. Semi-final is the goal. And Richards, can he land this one? He's missed again. That one a difficult one. Yaha's try has given Catalan some hope.
Well, it's lovely shape. And when Catalan put this play, and we've seen this a number of times, Glenn Stewart going close to the defenders, then at this point there's a domino effect because there are more attackers than defenders. There's bigger space to cover. But relief for the Catalan Dragons. Morgan Escaré, as that conversion was being taken, was receiving treatment. He's back up and he looks like he's ready to play well.
Here's Mason, the boos of the crowd again for his Hull Kingston Rovers Association. He plays that ball on the chest of Mahe Fanua. Fanua not getting out of the way, so Mason thought, well, we need to carry on.
Let's just get on with it. Let's just get on with it.
Stand square, boys! Yeah, but you're going early as well. Come on.
Risky. I mean, if that
could have been a mistake.
It could have been a mistake. Could have been a knock on.
No, that's good push play from young Albert.
Isn't it? Good player. Certainly got bravery and courage in his locker.
Mahe Fanua stands his ground, makes the tackle.
Go.
On the last. Carney hoists. Horrow chases. But Shaw has time underneath that. And this time the tacklers time it right.
Yeah, Mark Sneed as well and Steve Michaels getting back and just giving him a bit of protection. So when he's catching that ball, he's got two blocks in front of him. You can just see they're getting in the way. They don't have to jump out the way to give the Catalan players a free rein at taking down Jamie Shaw.
Three, move back here, boys. Wait. Okay.
Bowden now.
Here we are, boys.
Another stint for him off the bench. He's having a great season, Josh Bowden. He's been ever present so far in all 20 games. A lot of his work comes off the bench. Sneed just stepped outside the 40 to put that kick in. And Fouad Yaha back to field the ball. It's a great kick.
Well, that's your job as a kicker.
He's lost it. Steve Michaels picks it up.
Well, that's your job as a kicker, to find space, and then your job of your kick chase is to come up with efforts like that.
Zero, move! Get in, boys!
So Hull immediately back on the attack. And Washbrook. Houghton. Oh, they could pay a price for that. Just a little rush of blood from Fouad Yaha, but that ball has come loose. Scott Taylor tried to pick it up, and that was Carlos Tuimivavi having a rush of blood.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. They've got themselves into a great position, and Carlos Tuimivavi can't resist it. He tries to offload the ball, and who's there? Glenn Stewart shots the play down.
Well, Fouad Yaha will be breathing a sigh of relief.
Help! Move, three!
That was a great hit from Michaels' opposite, wasn't it? Ball and all.
Four, away, Danny!
He's looked across the defensive line. Who should have picked out? Should have picked out Fanua. No, I'm going to pick out Michaels.
Yep.
Came off second best.
Just don't pick anybody.
Five away,
Here's Glenn Stewart now. And Carney out on the fall. His kicking has been spot on so far.
And he's starting to have more kicks and more involvements in that department. Hull FC, a little red light, a little alert sign needs to go off in their minds. Let's take the time away from that man.
Into the final quarter of the game, Hull leading by 18 points to 8. And looking to join Wakefield and Warrington in the semi-final draw for the Challenge Cup. Will it be another W later on when Wigan take on the Castleford Tigers? And that was high.
There you go. You keep it going out. You go for 2 points. Just 40 metres out. The high shot from Willie Mason. You go for goal there. You take out the 2 converted tries.
I'd go for goal.
The only reason why you go for goal is because you've already seen him setting it up. Don't worry. I watched you. I watched what you were doing.
It doesn't matter where I get my information from. The important thing is I'm right. And Hull FC are going for 2 points.
We're It's
you're
a
not
big
cheating,
play.
you're not trying to.
No, it's a big play here, isn't it?
4 penalties to 0. The penalty count in favour of Hull FC in this second half. Mason, the latest Catalan player to be penalised, giving Mark Sneed an opportunity. Thoughtful looking Hull coach Lee Radford.
It's still too early for him to even think about the next round. And then a little bit further on, that big day at Wembley, Lauren Fresneau, he's going to have to change the rhythm of this game. We're into the last quarter. He's a bit restricted on his bench, as we've already said. Julian Bousquet looks like he won't be able to get back onto the pitch.
Catalan have still got enough firepower to score 12 points or more in the final 17 minutes. Laurent Fresneau will know that. He'll have confidence in the group of players that he's picked to go out there and do the job. But Mark Sneed just takes his time here, sets the target.
Well, Hull have got such a level-headed professional bunch of players that they won't be looking ahead to a Challenge Cup semi-final or even thinking about Wembley. Their next thoughts will be against Huddersfield in the First Utility Super League next week. Sneed is on target with that penalty. 2 more points, putting the game beyond the Catalan Dragons, you feel?
Well, this game, it looks like it's going in the way of Hull FC. You mentioned the schedule that they've got coming up. Well, these Hull FC players have had enough dark times and enough dark days, as have the fans on the terraces. They look forward to these big matches, these big challenges that are in front of them. They've got a challenge in the last 14 or 15 minutes or so, and they need to shut this game out and do what they've been doing better.
Yeah, we will see Hull in action next Thursday night on Sky Sports. Sky Sports 1, 7:30 as they take on the Huddersfield Giants, and Hull will be looking to maintain their lead at the top of the Super League table. Salford against Castleford is the Friday night game, 7:30 Sky Sports 1 for that. And then Catalan Dragons against the Wigan Warriors, 4:55 next Saturday, Sky Sports 1 for that. Big occasion at Gilbert Brutus as they celebrate 10 years of Super League. Pelissier penalised, and there's just an air of, I don't want to say resignation, but Catalan may be sensing that it's not going to be their day.
The little things that you do, and Scott Taylor, his aggression, his urgency to win that penalty. They're going to go for another 2 points here, just over the halfway. But they can't control the likes of Scott Taylor. The footwork again at the line's causing problems. And then his surge, then his drive, keeps on going forward, doesn't want to be dominated by the big Catalan players. And he earns his side a penalty on maybe 2 points.
Sorry, Tez, on the big wide shot, you just see the figure of Dave Taylor, who looks like he's going to come onto the pitch. Scott Taylor's had a tremendous game. His footwork, his work rate and work ethic I've already spoken about, but it's his desire. He knows what his job is, he knows what his role is, and when that penalty is given, he just turns around, walks away and goes, thank you very much.
Well, we mentioned earlier on the possibility that Hull might have the England front row, and they haven't done their cause any harm today, have they?
We'd like to think we know a good front row. We've championed the cause.
You two. I haven't got a clue.
Me and Terry O'Connor like to think we know a good front row, and we've championed the cause for Scott Taylor for a number of years, and I think he's just about there now.
25 years of age, Scott Taylor. And Sneed, similar sort of distance, and just makes it. Smile with Richard Horn, who knows a thing or two about goal kicking as well from his playing days.
And again, it just takes the sting out of the game, and those fans see it as 2 points if you're a Catalan player. You see it as that you've got to score 3 times now to get back into this game, get in front, And Lauren Fresneau knows now it's backs against the walls with just 14 minutes to go.
So Catalan restart, short kick-off.
Play on.
Washbrook underneath that one and claimed it despite the attention of the Catalan players.
And he does well then, because when he's going up for that ball, he was hit by Fuad Yaha when he was in the air, so that could have been a penalty as well in Hull FC's favour.
Catalan need to keep their discipline as well. They might be getting frustrated, and sometimes discipline tends to get away from them in those occasions. Taylor
We're here, boys.
collars Jamie Shaw. Sneed with a very, very good kick. Escaré, nothing he could do about that.
Well, that's the management in his game. He's really matured now into a very good player, very good leader on the pitch, kicking on the third player, just turning Catalan around. All the Catalan players walking back to form this scrum just 10 metres from the line.
And it looks like he has all the time in the world as he puts that kick in, but it's because he chooses to go on the third. And the previous carries, the play the balls were of sufficient speed to give him that option, let him stand back, assess the situation and put a perfect kick in.
Time's still off. Let's get bound quicker, come on.
Catalan heading for a cup exit in the quarter-finals in the city of Hull, exactly the fate that they suffered last year in the competition. The Hull Kingston Rovers doing this to them on that occasion, so not their favourite venue as far as cup quarter-finals goes. Houghton is penalised though.
Well, there we go. Is this the little leg up that they need? Pat Richards, he earns his side a penalty, bring it away in yardage, centre field.
Their first penalty of the second half, in fact.
Yeah, well, they need it. You can see from the whistle at half-time, they've really been behind the 8 ball, not going forward. But they're still getting through the sets, but not just taking the chances.
Taylor going forward and taking them inside. That's Hull 20. Baccieri. Stewart. Good defence. It was Minicello who made the tackle. Escaré, Baccieri couldn't control it, but it went backwards, and then it came loose, and Kirk Yeeman is on the charge.
Well, good job Garcia was switched on them because Kirk Yeeman was aware. He had support as well.
Casti could have been penalised there. Talanoa spins away from one challenge, from another one.
Well, that gives you big forwards a huge lift, that. The size of Talanoa coming in from the wing, helping it out. Pelissier comes in and apologises. Look at him, straight, hard, very strong. Pelissier's beating, he sticks his right leg out and trips him up. And Ben Thaler does well to deal with that.
Hull FC, when they get the penalty, you see Danny Houghton, he motions to his team, let's get it out, let's play with the ball. They can sense, just coming into the last 10 minutes, let's have a little bit of fun, still remain disciplined and show composure, but let's really put this game to bed now.
One move, Jason!
Houghton, Sneed, Tuimavave, here's Jamie Shaw.
It's a big two. Move, Justin!
Lucas Albert and Horrow making the tackle. Sneed, and here's Ellis.
So got it 3. Move! Line!
Howden it was who was tackled. Sneed, and the ball knocked on by Fanua.
Yes, your ball.
They made a mistake, but again it's just the defensive pressure from Pat Richards. What's been good in the build-up to that play, if you're a Hull FC fan or Lee Radford, is how many times that they just reload, they look to attack, and they've got options left or right. The man who's carrying the ball's got somebody who's supporting him. There's a real honesty, and it comes from the top, that. Lee Radford, he was one of those players who wore his heart on his sleeve, always turned up, did all the little things right.
Back up. 1 move,
10
start!
minutes on the clock.
Right, lads, go.
Hull, Super League leaders, heading for the Challenge Cup semi-finals. Draw coming up later on today. Taylor trying to offload. There's a hand in there from Hull.
Well, that's a difficult one if you ask me. Dave Taylor is such a difficult man to handle. You don't know whether to go low, go high. And they do have hold of the ball, but he's looking to pass it. These days you just can't. You can't get that wrong, otherwise you get penalised.
Yeah, lads, sorry, mate. Ready, go.
Stewart plays the ball. Baccieri. Horrow onto Fuad Yaha. He can't control it. Tuimavave can't pick it up.
Well, good defence from Hull FC. It's a long shift. And they remain all in position until that point. I think it's Steve Michaels who comes out creates that uncertainty, and Fuad Yaha's ball is too difficult to catch. Very comprehensive performance from Hull FC. Very gratifying for Lee Radford and his coaching staff. He's had his critics during his tenure. He's had to cope with some rough times. At last he's got a good side that can really give the competition and the league, the cup competition and league, a good shake.
Sir Rod Stewart was the last act on this field. Well, Hull FC are giving their fans reason to believe with this performance, reason to believe that they could get to the final.
Two, move, Remy!
Which one?
We're here, Jace, two.
What about a double?
I think
they believe in themselves, don't they, this year, lads?
Yeah, I think they'll say, I don't want to talk about it. That's what they might say.
But some guys have all the luck,
And they might say they need hot legs.
Well, here they come again. Talk of hot legs. Here's Steve Michaels, and Michaels cleaned out there by Casti. Sneed puts a cross kick in. Oh, what a kick that was, almost.
Well, Jody Broughton makes a play for it, and he has to make a play for it. If that bounces up into Talanoa's hands, it's a certain try. But again, the weight on the kick, drops it on the button. Brilliant push, and good shape out on the wing. Look at that, comes down, perfect position, and not taking any chances, Jody Broughton. It's just about keeping the pressure on, isn't it, from Hull FC. Still don't want to throw any lifelines to a team that has so many stars like Glenn Stewart, Todd Carney.
Well, it was going to be a fascinating battle in the half, wasn't it? Sneed and Tumavave against young Lucas Albert and Todd Carney, and Sneed has risen to the challenge, hasn't he?
Correct. It's been a tremendous battle.
It's
been a bruising battle. Mark Sneed's had some good involvements. You can't ignore Danny Houghton, Scott Taylor, those big bodies in the middle. And I thought for a minute that Remy Casti had a cut underneath that strapping. Looks like he's okay.
It's what he plays off though, isn't it, Mark Sneed? I think Hull's pack have been so dominant this afternoon. They've really took it to Catalan, and they've not had a platform. Todd Carney, we've not really talked about him much in the first half in particular. He's had his glimpses in the second half, but this man has played behind a very good side.
Old Faithful rings around the KCOM Stadium. Hull looking for 10 consecutive league and cup wins, and they are within sight of number 10 now. Here is Frank Pritchard, first half try scorer. And here is Sneed. Sneed still getting the pass away despite attentions. Michaels keeps it alive.
Beautiful stuff from Hull FC. What footwork from Maha Fanua.
Bowden it was who kept it alive, and Pritchard. Well, they're taking Catalan on their own game in that respect, sending the big guys in there. Pritchard disentangles himself, gets the pass away. Taylor!
Can he get a try?
Held up a thing, Scott Taylor.
Good defence, that.
Unlucky, Scott Taylor. I think he's had a sensational game, but Danny Houghton, who provides that pass, has made 50 tackles during this match. 50 tackles, and still has enough mental focus and enough skill to deliver that play.
Okay, go.
So
on the last tackle in this set, and they're running it as Sneed puts a kick in. Oh, that's good covering defence from Escaré.
Wasn't that fabulous movement over on that left edge on the last play? Everyone expecting the kick. They just shape up, they pass the ball along the line, they take it to the line, pull the defenders in, and Jamie Shaw, great way, looking to set Kirk Yeaman free to score the try. But Morgan Escaré, well, not taking any chances. That's good, confident play.
Washbrook deals very, very astutely with that restart, and then just bats it up for Mahe Fanoa to gather as Catalan looked for touch to get possession back. And the afternoon wouldn't be complete with just a gesture towards the neighbours, just to remind them who is where in the table.
I'm sure they are watching.
who is where in the table and who is where in the Challenge Cup. Going down the short side, and Catalan defending enthusiastically and getting possession back. Knock on though as they tried to salvage possession.
Well, they did everything right then. As Fanua goes blindside, he's looking to take. He's looking, see if there's any of the Catalan players taking the shortcut, switching off maybe. He's so powerful, Barry. Totally agree with you. Offloads the ball. There's a knock-on from Horo.
Well, they've not been able to handle them in the forwards, but they've had a difficult task on the edges. Mahe Fanua, the size and power, they've not been able to handle him either. As I say, I think he's got the wrong number, mate. I think they've mistakenly given number 2. He should have 22 or 12 on.
Move! Right here, boys.
Hull looking for the cherry on the cake here.
2. Move, David! Back here, Morgan.
A try that would just round off what has been a really solid performance from the Super League leaders. A forward pass.
Well, Mark Sneed not happy with that. Probably caught in two minds then. Did he hit the lead runner? Does he hit the man out the back?
You can't complain, he had enough time to set it up. You saw him motion to Big Frank Pritchard, get me to 50, in other words, get me to the point between the sticks so that they can split the half-backs. One side have Tuamavave, Sneed went on the left and he had a front runner and a back runner and he chose the wrong option. But he's had a virtually flawless afternoon.
Not a happy hunting ground this for the Catalan Dragons. They've won only one of their last 10 visits to the KCOM Stadium. And they had a good start to the game. They scored first with that Garcia try, but Hull have grown in authority and gone on to dominate this game. Stewart puts a little grubber kick in. And the cover is there. Fanua coming back, Talanoa coming back, I beg your pardon, to gather the ball.
Yeah, and realistically, Glenn Stewart knows that the game's gone. Kicking on the second player, looking just to pick up some consolation points.
But the fact that it's Glenn Stewart putting a kick in there, it's Glenn's.
He's been incredible.
Contribution.
He's been absolutely incredible in defence, in attack. He organises, he turns up. I said there's players who do all the little dirty things all the time, and Glenn Stewart, not only does he do the right things in attack, he's made 43 tackles. Gareth Ellis, well, it looks like he's picked up an injury.
Just catches a stray knee from Baitieri while they're trying to get him to ground, and there's that technique again. They do have a habit of lifting our leg, and if two players attempt to lift our leg, it looks very ugly.
Well, it doesn't look much, does it, when he headbutts? I think he headbutts or clips the knee.
It is. It's Jason Baitieri's knee that he manages to headbutt.
And he gets a cut as well.
There you go. Well, the first cut is the deepest, Bill.
Oh, the last one goes to McDermott.
All right, tackle 2 then.
There you can see, look.
Ready? Is he going off?
It's not the hand, it's that one.
Yeah.
Looks a nasty place as well. It's right in his eyelid.
Except, I don't imagine with Gareth Ellis he hit the first cut.
He won't, but no, it is not his first cut, definitely. I've seen him spill some blood while I've been wearing the same shirt as him. And he'd be prepared to do that if they get the victory, if they get in the hat for the next round. And only 80 minutes away from Wembley. Are we allowed to say it with 3 and a bit minutes on the clock?
Go back on 3.
Well, those other semi-finalists, Wakefield and Warrington, will be hoping that maybe they're not partnered with this Hull side, who look a very definite prospect. I mean, they've eliminated St Helens already, and now they've taken out another one of Super League's big guns, the Catalan Dragons. Here is Scott Taylor.
He's had a good game, Scott Taylor. The engine room has been exceptional.
Hey, calm down.
That'll be the turnover. Already a cup winner, Scott Taylor.
Go run in, hey! Go run in! Go run in!
Well, the game's gone now. You don't need to get involved here. do anything that's going to get you suspended.
Well, he's pointing at the clock, Scott Taylor. When he picks this ball up, he gets Elwa Pelissier all over him. He gets a mosquito bite on the back of his neck, on the back of his leg, should I say.
It's that little push, isn't it?
Yeah. Such is life, I'm sure he said, or words to that effect.
Boys. You know what you've got to do there, Scott.
Penalty goes the way of the Catalan Dragons. They have to fly home this evening and dust themselves down and prepare for that big game against the Wigan Warriors next Saturday at the Gilbert Brutus. And it's not just that, it's the event around it. There's the game, 4:55 next Saturday, Sky Sports 1. That ball's been knocked on, head and feed to Hull FC, and it's going to be some occasion that is in Perpignan. I know a lot of Wigan fans will be heading for the south of France for that game to play their part in what's going to be a great celebration. Lots of players from Catalan's past coming back for that.
Quite right, they should celebrate it. Bernard Gouache, Christophe Dufresne, they've put their heart and soul into those 10 years, and it's come a long way as the Catalan Dragons side. I think they're genuine competitors in the league, and they can legitimately look at the end of the season and think we're in with a shout.
They're going to need some of their injured players back. Krishnan Inu has travelled with them today. Of course, he's been a big loss, the centre, and is recovering from a knee injury. Reckons he might be able to play a part in the final stages of the season.
And that'd be brilliant if he's back as well, Krishnan Inu. But it's took them 10 years, but they are genuine contenders for silverware now. I know today's not been the day, but they're still genuine contenders to get to Old Trafford.
But Lee Radford's team are genuine contenders for Old Trafford, for Wembley.
We might be seeing this game again further on in the league. It might be at Old Trafford itself. Catalan versus Hull FC. It'd be great to see two teams with the history of Hull FC and the exciting passion that the Catalan Dragons have. They've done an awesome job with the club, the Catalan Dragons.
Never won at Wembley, Hull FC. Is this to be their year, perhaps? Well, on the back of this really strong, committed, skillful performance against one of their big rivals in Super League, they've done a great job, and they've gone a step nearer to Wembley.
And confidence as well. Some real genuine team spirit in this side. Not only are they a good team when you look at them on the team sheet, they're a very good side on the pitch as well. They work extra hard for each other.
And Lee Radford will be delighted with every aspect really of this whole performance as the crowd count down, and Lee Radford and the Catalan contingent just exchange feelings after the game, after a really, really gritty cup tie. And Danny Houghton, in his 64th consecutive appearance, committed as ever, and a try scorer in this 22 points to 8 win. Catalan, who led early on, just didn't have enough to outgun this Hull FC side, and it takes some outgunning, as we've seen.
Yeah, well, they've scored 22 points ball, so I look at what they've done defensively. Made 301 tackles and missed just 8. When they were broken, the teammates just turned up, held out the lad who'd missed the tackle, and they're absolutely brilliant. As I say, Lee Radford has done a tremendous job to turn things around here.